Due to some local issues, a grapevine which was well established had to be totally removed. But after a few days, the stump started sprouting. So I decided to dig out the stump and replant it in a container. The roots were quite large and spreading towards the nearby walls and had to be severed. In the process of digging out, the sprouts disappeared as well. Luckily, it sprouted again after transplanting into a container, despite the fact that the large root system had been removed. Now, I am quite happy to see the sprouts getting established. The recent rains would have helped a lot to get it sprout again. As mentioned in my previous post, which you can see at the end, I'll have to thin out the sprouts so that only the most important one remains. I am planning to use a 3-meter long 1 square inch aluminum pipe lying idle here as a support for the grapevine in this 23-inch garden pot. It will be quite exciting to see how long it will take for the grapevine to fruit in this container home. Can grapes grow back from a stump transplanted into a container? Yes, grapes are incredibly resilient, and a transplanted stump can absolutely grow back in a container under the right conditions. Grapevines have extensive hidden networks of dormant buds beneath their shaggy bark and a high capacity for generating new roots from old wood. However, success depends on a few critical factors, starting with how the stump was harvested and whether it is a grafted vine. Before you invest time in caring for it, you need to know if the original vine was grafted. Most commercial grapevines consist of a fruiting variety scion grafted into a hardy pest-resistant rootstock. If it was grafted, if you cut the trunk below the original graft union, any new growth that sprouts from the stump will be the rootstock variety, not the sweet table or vine grapes you are expecting. If it has grown from a cutting, if the vine was grown from its own roots, any shoots that emerges will be identical to the parent plant. I think my plant is like that. Once spotted, place the container in a warm, sunny location. That's what I have done. Grapevines require intense sunlight to thrive and eventually produce sugars for fruit. Within a few weeks to a couple of months, depending on the season, you should see latent buds swell and burst through the old bark. In my case, it took only a few days. Once multiple shoots appear, let them grow a few inches to assess their strength. Eventually, select the strongest, most upright shoot to become your new main trunk and prune away the weaker competitors. This directs all the energy from the root system into building a robust new framework. Keep in mind that it will take usually 2 to 3 years of careful training and pruning before this reformed vine begins bearing fruit.